There are some changes today. This is downtown Tampa, the Ascent building, looking towards the west here, and you can see a lot of moisture out there, at least in the sky, right? Not a lot of rain falling across the area, but there will be at least some. 86 degrees, 79-degree dew point. Very, very muggy. That's not going to change. I was going to say all day, but it's not going to change all week. So we're going to stay warm and muggy. Only go in the upper 80s for highs today because we have the clouds. Now let's talk rain. Pretty decent thunderstorm northwest of Hudson that's getting in towards Brooksville up in Hernando County. More rain than anything else, but this will start to fill in a little bit more. But by and far, this is I-4. The best chance for rain is going to be south of I-4 and especially Sarasota County, Hardy, DeSoto, and Highlands County, and then down towards Fort Myers area over the next few days. And so what I'm looking at today, the forecast is basically saying that we're going to have less rainfall here in the Tampa Bay area than what has been forecasted the last couple of days. And more of it will be concentrated down to the south. Now, we knew that was going to happen, but I think the numbers overall are coming down just a little bit. South Florida, especially down towards Miami and the Keys, they're still going to get a ton of rain. So here's the bigger picture. Front is to the north. This won't come too much further to the south. This extent of the rain is about where it will go. But that's actually good news for us because that means we've got enough moisture. We can fill in showers and storms here over the next couple of days. But you see all of this moisture here? That's that heavy rainfall. 10 inches in some areas is possible, generally 5, 6, 7 inches. That's going to be Sanibel Point southward, Fort Myers as well. I just don't think a lot of this is going to get up into our neck of the woods. Some of it will, but rainfall totals overall are going to come down. But that's the tropical moisture that was south of Cuba yesterday. It's here now, and that will keep us at least cloudy throughout the day. Now, this is the forecast for rainfall. We've been showing you this for a better part of almost 4 or 5 days now at least. Now we're looking at 1 to 2 inches. Pinellas, Hillsborough, northward through the next 3 to 4 days, right? And then you can see obviously where the heavier rain is. I-4 is sitting right in here. So it's south of there that we have the heaviest rainfall. Now, this is a little tricky because 1 to 2 inches, there's a lot of moisture from the ground all the way up. And if you get a good thunderstorm, you could get 1 to 2 inches in just that thunderstorm. And this is going out through Saturday evening. So that might be a little bit low. But on average, I wanted to show you this so that you can get the idea that the best chance for rain is further to the south. Not a bust, but it is definitely going to be further to the south. This is the GFS version of the model, pretty similar. It's been going real high with numbers, although those numbers have come down, even for the Fort Myers area, south of Sarasota. Our numbers here in the Tampa area, still about 2 to 3 inches of rainfall over the next several days. Again, some of us could get a little bit more than that when it gets heavy. This tells the story. Because look at today, again, there's I-4. You can see the better chances for rain, but then look what happens tomorrow. This is the European model, and we've dropped rain chances down to about 40%. Same thing on Friday. Saturday and Sunday down to about 30%, maybe a little bit more than that on Saturday. But by and far, the heaviest rain is going to be here as we get into this afternoon, well, now, this afternoon and this evening. And then again, South Florida as we get into tomorrow. So, couple different things coming on here. There's actually a small chance that all of this moisture, there's a small low developing here, but that's not what we're worried about. All of this moisture will drift and go out to the north and the east. And the Hurricane Center says that has about a 20% chance of developing over the next 5 days. If it does, it would be developing out here and moving away. Not concerned about this at all. Not only, especially for us here, right? No concerns, but even I think the Southeast U.S. doesn't have to worry about this, right? Only a 20% chance of developing. Even if it did, that's an 80% chance it doesn't. A weak low might form, but it's moving out to sea. So that's the good news with that. But this is what happens this time of year. You get moisture that comes up out of the Western Caribbean into the Gulf. It turns out to be more of a rainmaker for us than anything else, and that's almost exactly what we're seeing. The devil's in the details is exactly where that rain's going to be. There's that little weak mesolow, we'll call it there. And because it's sitting here and not up here, most of the rain is going to rotate to our south. And that's today's weather. But we have enough sunshines getting through those clouds that we will start to fill in a few more showers and storms this afternoon. Some of the moisture goes to the east, but look what's happened. Remember that big broad flow? It's a low pressure. It's Central American gyre is what we call it over Central America. Look by a week from tomorrow. It's taken a lot of moisture off into the western Gulf of Mexico. There may actually be some development here within about 7 days, and the Hurricane Center hasn't hatched anything out here. They haven't put a little area that they want to watch, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. That's the European model. Here's the GFS model. See this little kink right there? That's a little area of low pressure trying to develop and drift off towards the west and the northwest. Another thing for us here, even if this happens, and this is Sunday, right? It's a long ways out, tropically speaking. It would not be a threat for us. It would be going off to the north and the west, and no models actually really do much with it. You can see all the moisture being dragged into northern Mexico and South Texas with it. The good thing about all of this is that it does give us these southeast winds once this gets out of the way. That's what gives us those afternoon showers and thunderstorms. We did not have that at all. Well, a little bit last summer with our rainy season. It was all of a west wind. That's a much better pattern. That's the type of afternoon showers and thunderstorms you used to set your watch to. That looks like the pattern as we get into next week. So this week's kind of messy with all the moisture coming up. Next week looks a little bit more typical summertime. There's the low on the European. See it forming here? Very weak. And then kind of just moving off towards the east-northeast. There's really not much to it. And then start looking back here as we get into this weekend, Saturday and the Sunday, there's a little low forming. You can see that one's drifting off towards the northwest into northern Mexico and South Texas. So again, we're getting set up with a pretty decent pattern here for afternoon showers and storms. The bulk of the heavy rain that we've been talking about is today, tonight, and part of tomorrow. And most of that, unfortunately, will be to our south. And then we'll keep just a few afternoon showers and storms around as we go through the upcoming weekend and most of next week. Here's the timing. Let's forecast it for you. Tuesday this morning. Let's see some of it filling in as we get into this afternoon around 3 o'clock. Still the heaviest down to our south, but this is kind of what we're seeing now, right? And then as we go through tonight, we'll have some breaks and a few isolated showers developing overnight tonight. This is 11 o'clock. If you saw Mike last night on the 11 o'clock show, he was tracking showers and a couple thunderstorms. Same setup for tonight. It's not a lot, but you'll hear a little bit of rain out there. Tomorrow morning, we will see a few scattered showers. This is a wake-up time, 7:30. You're heading off to work tomorrow morning. This looks a little overdone to me, but there will be some scattered showers around, so you'll want to watch Sarah in the morning to find out what the traffic looks like for that. This is lunchtime tomorrow. There's I-4. Best of the rain is down to our south again, but still a decent chance, around 60% or so for tomorrow. Then as we get into Wednesday night and Thursday, still some showers left over. I wanted to zoom this out to show you there's not much even developing out there at this point. So bulk of it's here now. We're trying to squeeze out as much as we can. This will not be a drought buster, especially for the Tampa area. Folks down South Florida will get some really good drought relief from it. Here's the forecast for us today. How about this? That's the good thing. Extra clouds and showers keeps us cooler. So we're talking mid-80s with that decent rain chance this afternoon. This is tonight. Notice 11, 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m. Scattered showers around. If you're heading out this evening, there'll be a few showers around, but I wouldn't cancel plans for this evening. It's a better chance for rain closer to midnight tonight. And then tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds. We'll start out with some sunshine. The more sun we actually see, once we get rid of these early morning showers, break out some sun, that'll try and help us fire up a few more showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. No severe weather is expected. Most of this will be just heavy downpours. But we will pick up the breeze just a little bit out of the south at 10 to 15 knots. We had not had that. Yesterday was really nice, light westerly winds, but today, tonight, tomorrow, generally out of the south around 10 to 15 knots. That just looks tropical right there, right? Gulf temp 89 degrees. We haven't had a lot of rain. That will cool. In fact, it has cooled, but the rain that's falling out there now will help cool those numbers just a little bit. So this is what we should have gotten for this time of the year. Rainy season normally starts around the 25th of May, right near the end of May, and it just hasn't started yet. But if you look ahead into next week, that right there, all those 93s, that's pretty typical summertime around here. 92, 93 for a high. Then around 1, 2, 3 o'clock, you get some showers and storms fire up and push towards the coast in the evening hours. That would be fantastic if we can get into that pattern. There's a 7-day forecast looking at Father's Day. Right now, I think the first half of Father's Day look good. Once we get the heating going, of course, we'll get into those afternoon showers and storms, but it's only about a 30% chance at this point.